Hello everyone, this is Josh Vision, and I'm here to give my Season 1, Episode 2 review of The Witcher. So in this episode, you guys were introduced to the character of Yennefer. So basically, she's like a hunchback. And, I believe that her dad, at least the guy who we thought was her dad, he really despises her for her misform, her deformity. And I believe early in the episode, he actually sold her off to this mysterious woman for 4 marks, which is actually really disrespectful and shows how much he actually cares for her, considering that usually you would sell your pig for at least 10 marks. So he clearly does not give a freak about her, while her mother was really pleading, for her to stay, for him to reconsider. He's like, that's not my daughter. So at first, when I first thought that, I would say I had 2 thoughts that came to mind. One was, okay, he must be like a stepdad, or 2, maybe her deformities, him not acknowledging her as his daughter because he's so ashamed of her. But either way, she's taken away from her family to join this kind of like Harry Potter in a way, this magical school to teach her about how to control her gifts. So early in the episode, before she's taken away or sold off, she's basically I don't know what to describe what's happening to her, but we see her pick up this daisy that was given to this girl by her boyfriend. You could tell these two were of noble status, and they were just freaked out by her hunchback and her appearance. And they were doing something to her. I don't know if they were trying to rape her or something. I don't know if they were trying to just really kill her. It was just weird, really weird, strange, and uncomfortable. But either way, she yells and she's brought to this portal. And there she meets this guy named Istredd. And Istredd said basically that she must be very powerful in order for her to basically without any training get to this place via portal, whatever. So he senses something, and he says that due to her not being trained enough in this kind of gig, essentially, in the portal shaping or transitioning, that she's been traced and tracked by someone, and that she needs to escape. So he does something with this little, I believe a daisy, the same daisy she had before she even went to that portal where he's at, and gives it to her and said, now you can go home, without a hitch. And that, I think he asks her, does he trust her? And she asks him his name, and thusly, his name's Istredd, like I mentioned before. So either way, so while she's at the while she's at this magical school, she's really sucks at everything essentially. She's not getting the whole mind reading stuff. She's not learning how to do the transformation stuff. She's really not doing well at all. At one point, I believe she cuts her wrist with some of the mirror leftovers from when she smashed with her fist, and she was pissed at the woman who saved her, who was the one that actually bought her from her family for basically letting her live and not die. And that woman actually is her teacher at this place. And she's like, listen, you're meant for great things, but you have to basically learn and keep up. Keep trying. That's the same message that Istredd kept saying to her as well. And I believe we find out that the place they're at is at the Tower of Gold or something. And that's where it's this big place, a location the Brotherhood of Sorcery or something along them lines. Alright, what else happened in regards to that? So we find out essentially that as she gets closer and closer to Istredd, that she's actually a half elf, or no, her father, her real biological father, was a half elf, and that he was a part of the Great Cleansing, which happened a few years ago or something along them lines, maybe a decade ago actually, in which the elves were really almost damn near wiped out by the humans and forced to relocate, away, from them essentially. And that's why she says she has a hunchback due to her father's elf blood, which I thought was very interesting. I'm like, wow, I didn't see that coming. Now, what connects to that is the fact that when The Witcher, he goes on this journey with this bard/singer named Dandelion, and essentially the reason why he goes on this journey is to kill this devil who's killing all the townspeople's sheep and their grain, essentially their food stock and all that stuff. And he's given 100 Well, he was offered 100 ducats, but he actually maneuvers as asked for like 150 ducats. So him and the guy, I believe, him and the bard, they're basically traveling. The bard kind of calls him the Butcher of Belverton. And if we remember, in the previous episode, the Witcher got a bad reputation for what he did in the town by killing off like 6 of those people, even though they had it coming, and Rainfree, who also had it coming. And it was only due really to Skagabor taking advantage of the situation that he really got that name to begin with. So it was kind of a funny scene in which the Witcher was like, hey, can you come here for a sec? And he just straight, like gut checked that dude right in the gut. And the dude was like, you know what? I maybe deserve that. But, if you let me hang around, I will make a great reputation out of you. I will start singing songs of your greatness and all the great adventures you've done, the good person you are, so on and so forth. Basically kissing his ass. So they're able to find this supposed demon. It turns out this dude's basically just like a satire, essentially. And the Witcher beats him in combat. But he chooses not to kill him and gives her the option of escape, but he's knocked out. So the Witcher and the bard dude is basically tied up in a rope, and they're basically getting beat down since their hands are bound by this woman. But the Witcher like headbutts her, and she really feels it. She's like bleeding all over the place, but it's like revealed that she's sick. So here we meet the current king of the elves and the satire which the Witcher fought earlier. So this connects to the whole Yennefer thing, because he basically goes more in detail about the whole great cleansing and how his people basically try to teach humans magic. And when they did teach human magic, they turned it against them and basically forced them out. And now they're like in hiding. And now he used to be known as the king of so-and-so, so-and-so. Now he's like the king of basically wasteland and nothing. So I believe the Witcher tried to use the same analogy that he used, with the previous episode with Skagabor, like saying, listen, evil is evil no matter how less it is or how great it is or how justified it is, dude. Like, just move on to another place. And the King Elf's like, listen, bro, we've been moving on for so many years and so many places. Screw it. We're done with this. They have to pay. You know what I mean? And I believe at one point, I think the bard was trying to negotiate them escaping. He's like, listen, if we let you escape, then they'll know where we're at. So he was really down to kill the Witcher. And the Witcher's like, listen, if you're going to kill me, kill me. Like, I don't care. Do what you got to do. But it's due to the satire that the Witcher and the bard are able to escape. And I believe the Witcher actually gave the king of the elves actually like 150 ducats. Like, basically, his prize for pursuing the so-called demon to begin with. But yeah, that's basically the end of the Witcher storyline for this episode. Now, back to Yennefer. So we find out that Istrid, like the guy was Yennefer's beginning close to, that he's actually in cahoots and is connected to Skagabor, that slime bag magician from the previous episode. And it seems as though he's aware of the fact that Istrid has basically Yennefer basically has her under control. He has her where, he wants her. Or is that really the case? Because it seems like Yennefer is aware of what Istrid is doing, because she spoke with her main teacher, the woman. And I believe she mentioned something like the lines of, like, did she earn, like, a reward or something? Something along the lines of, in which it's like she knows what's going on. But yeah, I think that's about it, you guys. If I missed anything, I'm sorry. There was so much that happened in this episode. But if I did, write it down below in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. Adios, Josh Vision. Have a nice one.